Renewing your Nigerian passport in America is an Olympian sport. I wanted to come on here and prepare you for your journey ahead. If you are about to embark on this journey, or you know somebody about to embark on this journey, go ahead and invite them in, and you come and sit down and let's get into it. Let's get into it. Okay, so you know that as an international student, or even if you're not a student and you are, I guess, a resident of the states, it is to your benefit that you have a renewed passport if or when you want to visit Nigeria. You can get a visa, but a passport is convenient to have, right? And for international students, you have to have a valid passport. It's not if or when, you gotta have it. Okay, your visa can expire, but your passport should never expire. So we all kind of, if you're in this category, you need to know how to renew it. And things have changed. The last time I renewed my passport was in 2016, I believe, 2016. And things have changed. The major thing, okay, let's get into it, is the NIN. I don't know why Nigeria had to do it. I don't know why they introduced it. If you do, comment down. But if you're in America, to my understanding, it works in a similar manner to your SSN, to your social security number. So everyone in Nigeria should have an NIN. Um, and because they introduced this recently, you have to get yours before you apply for a passport. You cannot get it during, because you need that number when you are filling out the application form. Okay. All right. So the first step is get your NIN, right? And the good thing is that they have multiple NIN centers in the United States. I will try to leave the list here and also leave the link to find the one closest to your location in the description box. NIN. Okay. Before you get your NIN, right? Before you go to the centers that are close to you, you can either, I believe some of them you can call them, or you can go to their websites and fill out an application form. Or I think it's more of like a, for me, I did mine in Arlington. It was more of a scheduling form. So your name, your email address, the time you want to come in, things like that. But before you can even get to that point, you have to find out if you have a BVN. I believe BVN stands for Bank Verification Number, and Nigerians get that when they open up a bank account. So the thing is, if you already have a BVN, they have already reserved an NIN number for you. So you have been allocated a number. The only way for them to find that number, apparently, is for you to provide that BVN. Okay, it's very important. So before you go to your NIN center, you can call your Nigerian bank if you have an account, if your parents opened one for you, and ask them, do I have a BVN? If so, I need that number, and take that number with you to the NIN center. Because if you do strong head and you don't go and check if you have a BVN and you go and apply for NIN, they will produce the number, but I think when they do go through the process of providing a number, they will find out that you already had a number allocated to you, and you have to what, do it again. Yeah, and you have to what, pay for the fee again, because yes, you pay for your NIN, you pay for it, you do pay for it. I think there was a time when it was free in Nigeria, but it's not free here. You pay. I paid $45 for mine. And so you're an NIN center. Okay. Me, I was in a rush because shame on me, I forgot that my passport was expiring within 2 months, I believe, or 3 months. And it was my school that kept reminding me that we don't have a valid, like, well, your passport is about to expire. I was like, really? Like when you renew it, you just kind of forget about it, right? Because I did the 5 years renewal. And so they kept reminding me that, go and renew your passport. And I finally opened the email to see what they were saying, right? So I had a crunch. I was time crunched to renew mine because I also got a job and they were filing my H1B. So I had to get a valid passport. And so when I went to the NIN center and I thankfully called, they had like bank numbers on their wall. So I called them because I was used strong kids. I was like, BVN, what's that? I don't have. I wasn't sure. And she was like, if you do have and you don't tell me, you're gonna do it again. So I said, let me just collect wisdom and call the number on the wall. And thankfully I didn't have any. So you go there, they, get your information to produce your NIN. When she was done, Auntie told me that before this my NIN that they have produced will get to the Nigerian database for me so it has to get to the Nigerian database for them to see it when you go to the embassy to apply for this passport. And she's like, before it's to get to the Nigerian database, it might take 6 months. Just take that in. Nigerian database in the country. I said, okay, so how do we rectify this, ma? She said that I can pay an extra fee so that they would expedite the process of it getting to where the Nigerian database. I said, I can't even play like that. I had to pay it at that point because my appointment was to the embassy was in about, I want to say a month. So, or maybe even weeks actually. Because I know I applied, I think in November or something, and my appointment was in December, or was it in October I applied? Shall was during the fall of 2022. So I did that, and that was like $20 extra. Pay that, and I left. Right? I thought that was the easiest. I thought that was the hardest part, right? So now, if you don't know, there are only 3 Nigerian embassies that you can apply for a passport in the United States. And all of them are on the East Coast, right? I live in central US, so in Texas, right? So if you look at the American map, the East Coast is this way to your right? And so if you live in, on the West Coast, like California, Nevada, what else? Seattle. You have to fly all the way to either New York, Washington D.C. around that area, or in Atlanta, which is southeast, right? So I chose Atlanta because it was closest to me, and they had like storms in the northeast, so I didn't want to risk my flight being delayed and everything. Because my plan was not to sleep in Atlanta, was to fly in the morning, go to the embassy, fly back out in the evening to Texas. Because I was like, I have an appointment time of 10 a.m. I should be done by 12. Joke. Anyway, so I fly out that morning, really early flights. Took an Uber from the airport to the embassy, which was almost like an hour. So I was, calculating that, like, okay, if it takes like almost an hour to get from the embassy to the airport, I have to leave early to catch my flight by 5 p.m. Right? Go to the Nigerian embassy. Another thing, you don't, for the Atlanta one, if you drive there yourself, you have to pay for parking. And I believe it was $20. So know that. So that's why I opted to just take an Uber to drop me and go. Got there at the embassy gates. I got there around like 8 a.m. And mind you, on the Nigerian website when you're applying for this, so okay, after your NIN, then you go to the link. I can leave it down below to actually do the application, and that's when you choose your time slots. And when you're filling out the application, they say there that even if your appointment time is in the afternoon, you have to come and submit your documents before, I believe, 10 a.m. um if you want to be seen that day. So I was extra careful to make sure I came before 8, I'll be 10 a.m. Or was it 10 or 12, one of those times. So I got there at the gate, and when you get to the gates, that day, for me, there was a guy in his car, and he was kind of previewing our documents. You know, when you go to the, I think, American embassy, they kind of make sure you have all your documents in tow, like oh, where's your this one, where's your that one, eh. So he was doing it from his car in the parking lot. So we all lined up around his car, and then you check if you have all the documents needed. If you didn't have any, if you needed to print something out, there was another building. It wasn't in the same compound, but it was like you could. It was like a 30-second walk. It was very close, and there you could go to like either print out your application form. I think you can even take your passport picture there, and you could get a return envelope too as well. So all these requirements that I'm listing, they would be in your when you're applying for the passport, the application portal, you'd see everything they require. So it's a good idea to make sure you have a checklist before you go, so you avoid any sort of harassment or paying extra that day. Okay, prepare for your journey. um so after I got got the thing I was missing, I went back to the actual embassy. And what else? So I went into the door, and it was not organized. Okay, it was not organized because when I got in, I just saw people standing. It was so full that people were standing on the hallway blocking the door. And I'll ask, okay, oh, excuse me, why are we standing here? "Mm, have they come to say anything?" "Mm." Well, just as if we're all looking to God that, please, what do we do now, right? Maybe if I came earlier, they would have announced something, but there wasn't like anyone really telling you what to do when I got there. So, I was just like trying to peep, like, what are we? So I peeped in the main place, the all seats were full. So I'm like, when did these people get here? Because it was 8 a.m. Anyways, so eventually I figured out that the guy that was in the car taking the documents, he'd take yours if it was complete. And then I guess he was taking it to a queue inside. And then inside, they were verifying the NIN. Oh, God. I don't know what that meant. I'm just like, if you give me this NIN, what do you mean by are you verifying that I am who I say I am? Or that I don't know. I don't if you know this thing, people tell us because I wasn't sure what they meant by verifying. But Shada took a long time because it reached to the point where they said we cannot have that since it was so full that we had to come outside. Yeah, they told us to come outside of the building that it was full. I don't know why I can't remember if there was lights. I don't. Anyways, we had to shall come outside, and they now told us to go and sit on the chairs outside that were wet and kind of dirty too. I did not do that. I just stood. That was my workout that day. Um, so yeah, we are just all hanging out. Literally, well, I think we are all just venting on the process because we were like, man, like it was already like almost 10, and they have not even attempted to see me. Not the people that have been sitting down inside since God knows when. So, um, the guy now came, one of the officials, that sorry, the the machine or the website we have been using to verify the NIN is down. So when they are trying to fix it, it should be back soon. I was just looking at my watch and God, please. God, I cannot miss this flight back. Remember, it's an hour just to get there. And I was just so concerned that this thing will go over time, right? Um So yeah, we were also waiting outside this thing. And then finally, we started seeing people coming out, meaning that okay, they had attended to them and they were coming out. Because the two main things is that they verify your NIN, then they call you to get your biometrics again. I don't know why they need to always get biometrics every time you renew, but that's what they do, right? So you take your picture again, then you take your thumbprints. And so that was those were the two steps. So those people had done theirs and they were leaving. Thankfully, they kept moving, and then it was my turn. Not my turn, but then there was enough space to actually go back and wait inside. Oh boy, we waited though. We waited. Another tip, please, if you are going there, carry snack. Carry what? Water. It's an Olympian what? Sports. Carry like an audiobook. Download an audiobook on your phone. Get your headphones because you might be there for the entire day. I'm not even you entire day. Okay. I was there waiting. I was just praying, God, please, God. Because when we were waiting, we were hearing all sorts of horror stories. There was this woman that had been there in the morning. I think she came there around 5 a.m. And she got married. And so she had a different name on her NIN because she got it when she was in Nigeria. And her passport, or no, NIN and her old passport had a different name, which was was her married name, I think. Some sort of discrepancy, right? So the woman, she was shouting because at that point, I think they were telling her that she wouldn't still be able to do the passport that day after she had waited for the entire day. And they just told her then and there that, oh, that's what we understood from the story, right? The girl was pissed. I was like, I beg, I beg, I beg. I have a flight to catch. I don't live here. Please. So, they finally called my name. Thank God, thank God, thank God. But the guy called me and I went to him and he was like, there's a problem with my NIN. I said, blood of Jesus. God. I said, what could it be? Did they put October and did they put July instead of October for my birthday? Did they misspell my last name? Could it be that the number is incorrect? Or maybe I actually had a BVN but they didn't tell me? Like I was like, what could it work with? I was just praying in my mind, like, please let it not be. So he himself, as he was telling me that I had a problem, he was confused about the problem that I had. So he was like, that he was out. Then I should bring out my actual NIN because when you get an NIN number, they give you like a slip that had your information. I took a picture of that on my phone, and so I showed it to him, and he was like, he looked at my application. He kept on like cross checking. He was like, they look like they're the same. So what is the problem? I'm like, you tell me. I don't know. And so he now had to even go and ask another lady. Here's the higher authority that why did this flag my application? And she's like, she said she had to take a minute to like actually like what happened with the application. And we're all trying to figure it out. She's like, oh, she found it that my middle name is Antonia Claret. It's a compound name. On my passport, there's Antonia space hyphen space Claret. Hey. On the NIN, the lady put Antonia hyphen Claret. There were no spaces in between the hyphen. And that was a problem. Oh god. I couldn't believe my ears. I looked at him like, so you're telling me that the problem is that there are no spaces in between my name. That's why they wanted me to go and do a new NIN. I'm not lying. Like everyone I've spoken to, I've told this story to, it blew my mind, literally. So I don't know, like sometimes when you're talking to Nigerians and they are in authority, they kind of make you. They don't want you to challenge the authority, so they had to take me back to the man that flagged my application inside the building. I was like, I don't understand, sir. Like, is it? Repeated it back to him. Like, do you want me to go get an NIN number because of a space in between my name? I was like, we are telling you what it is. We are telling you what if you don't want to do it. And he was like, so I remember that verse in Proverbs that is it a gentle answer turns away wrath, right? So I just like remove the anger. Just there's no point me getting angry. Will just make him angry, and he'll just cancel my application. And I didn't want that. And so in my mind, I was praying that there will be favor in this, right? And so I just like, okay, sir. So what can we do now? Like, I can't. I don't live here, right? Like, is there a way we can fix this so I don't have to do an NUNI and just basic saying things like that? Like, okay, well, they can fix it on their end, so you can't fix it. So you could have. Why did you go and threaten me with NIN? Anyway, they can fix it, but they cannot guarantee that it would come within 2 weeks because that's when passports usually come between 2 weeks. And I was like, it's okay. It sounded like a trend that now you gonna fix it or it will just be delayed indefinitely. I was like, it's okay. Like, I know what I'm gonna do. I was like, it's fine. Like, I'll just pray and hopefully disturb them until they gonna fix it, until they tell me where it is, right? So, like, my God does not wear flip flops. Like, it's fine. Don't worry. And so, um, and I said, okay, that I shouldn't call them to ask them about the update, that they will tell me when it's ready, and that's it. And I shouldn't. Said, okay, sir, it's okay, sir. Anyway, so I then took my biometrics and my picture and everything, and then I left. And it was about 4 p.m. when I left, I think, like around 4 p.m. No, was it 4 p.m.? Maybe it was 4 because maybe my flight was actually by 7, actually, maybe it was by 7 because if I left at 4 p.m., yeah, I think maybe it was maybe it's at 3 or 4. I can't remember now. I think my flight was at 5 or 6, and then I left around 3 or 4. Kind of end of day, sha. And so I was hungry. I didn't eat. The only time I ate was at the airport, a quick like breakfast snack, and I hadn't eaten throughout. And so I went to this new Nigerian restaurant beside to buy unkobi and plantain. I know it was nice. That was a whole journey. Anyways, let me not get into that. But the sharp point is that please prepare yourself for this journey ahead. Um, check your if you have a BVN. Um, if you can apply for the 10-year passport instead of 5 if you want to avoid the drama when you're applying. And then also your NIN. When you do your NIN, make sure make sure they have the exact same thing on your passports. Even if it's comma, put the comma there. If it's dot, put the dot. If it's upper every exact match to avoid this kind of stress, right? That's what I would say. And then when you go there with a good attitude. Believe it would be it would go favorable. I believe whatever you think, that's how it would be, right? So go there with a good attitude. And go there with snacks. Just relax your mind, right? Enjoy yourself right over there. Don't let the stress get to you. Don't start freaking out, don't start shouting, just relax yourself. But yeah, that was all my tips. That was my journey. So I hope this really helped you. If you have any stories of your time renewing your visa or your passport, put it in the comment section and have a great day, guys. Bye.